Hello, 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 hello. Just waiting on people to enter the room. Can't get it drives me crazy, you guys. I can't get the page to scroll down to where I can see if there's anybody actually in the room at this time. Ugh, it's annoying. So let's see. I do have something I wanted to try that I found doing research. I have things I want to talk about and discuss and review and look at already. Some things already set up for us to view and look at. I hope somebody comes in soon so I can find out if my microphone is actually working or if I'm not as good at. I think I am at putting it together, but at that time I'll have to go to the little backup mic. So anybody come in the chat, just let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna see. Let me get my TV set to where I can see. Oh, hey, there's people. Let's see. Hey, Turkey and Miss Sassy, how y'all doing tonight? I'm glad y'all can hear me. I have the worst headache on planet Earth. I do want to say a shout out and a thank you to somebody that reached out. I wish you had left me a way to reply to you, but you didn't. Daggum, I got one that says, hey, y'all, it says they're 2 days ago and there's no views on it.
I just wanted to say, hey, touch base.
That's weird.
I'll be going through
I got it set on super high speed, y'all. I see that there's almost 900 views on the upload I did today. And let me tell you, I don't feel no different than I did then. Okay. Let me see if y'all. Can y'all hear this in the background? Or do I need to turn it up? I'm having a problem here. It don't matter. I can mute that part. I'm trying to get into it. Because I might jump around, jump up, jump around. You totaled your car. Are you okay, Brenda? First of all. I got it. Brian Angel Eyes, same thing I said. Are you okay? First question. Let's find out if she okay first. Because I know how difficult and helpless sometimes and hopeless certain situations can be. Y'all know I'm the queen of that right now. But you can't fix none of them if you're not okay. You dig? Here, I can play that on my. Forgot I can. It's me. I can play that on here and not have to worry if y'all can hear it on TV. Lord, I'm being needy. Hey, True Crime. Right. I jump up, jump around, and make the mic. It's the knee and the hip. Y'all, this storm that come through the other day, I was ready to knock my hip off. If y'all hear anything in the background, it's the new roommate that's about to be the ex-roommate. I don't even want to go there. I'm just very upset. It's been a rough day. I'm just going to say that, and I don't want to talk much about that. I want to talk about what I had to say in my little video. If you ain't seen it, it's called My Response to Can defending her honor. And I didn't even mean to put an S on it, much less a $sign. I was putting the sick face with the sickening till you cry face, 100, because I meant that 100. And then I hope she was being watched by the police because it's eyeballs and the police. That's what I meant. I'm okay. Miss Brenda says that she's okay. Oh my God. She had a drunk driver in her lane, but she hit the ditch. At first, I thought it said I hit the ditch. I ain't gonna lie to you. No, Miss Sassy. That's why we call her Sassy. That's where she gets sassy from. She'll tell you about it. If you heard it, she'll tell you. Ain't that right, Sassy? Oh, gosh. Here we go.
That's what we call her Sassy.
Y'all, there's a delay, apparently. Well, Angel, is there anything special that's going on other than what we've all heard? I spoke on it in the short video upload I did. True crime, I don't know if you were around back then or not. Several of you guys were around under different monikers, whatever different name, moniker, whatever word you want to use for that. I like moniker. It sounds nice and fancy and like we know what we're talking about. Anyway, I'm trying. Y'all ever tried to? Oh God, I'm losing. This is some bullshit. Liz, whoever is doing this shit to me, I hope you run in hell. Every time I go live, the Wi-Fi goes out, and then I get shit talked and made fun of. The Wi-Fi just went down for a minute. I didn't lose broadcast. Cherokee, she tried. Musa. Thank you. It was a head on a dude. I don't blame you, Brenda. Listen, my mama, she was a sassy Brenda too. She literally, yes, there was a couch. You know why? Okay, we're gonna sound scattered, but let's get into it, Angel. Yes, there was pictures, and somewhere I have one of the pictures. It wasn't the Chris McDonough interview, you guys. It was either like Facebook, because I didn't have a TikTok then. I got a TikTok because of this case. And by the way, I can't get into my TikTok, but I got a TikTok because of Summer's case. And it was within the first 6 months after Summer went missing. Around the time, y'all remember the Ferris wheel video, right? Let me know in the chat. If you remember the Ferris wheel video, give me 7s in the chat right now. Just 7. If you remember the Ferris wheel video. It was around the time the Ferris wheel video and that I was showing it. Yay, true crime. I was showing the Ferris wheel video and we were talking about the newspaper where I was showing the adoption thing and talking about the adoption of the child in between Candace and Andrew and the oldest of the Wells children. That was a female child that was born that was immediately given up. Around that time, I was talking about the couch as well, and Miss Lisa Ruette's. All that was around the same time frame. And when I say in the same time frame, it was all in less than 45 days. Yes, true crime. He sure did. He laughed. It was that one of the boys that were in the cart, because one of the children that was in the cart was actually not one of the Wells children. It was another young man. But one of the young men, I don't know which one, we can't 100% say, but one of them called Grandma Candy, an old B.I., as they went around. Then another time they went around, the one brother that was still down there and another child were like running, and Summer was in a diaper, waddling. She looks so freaking cute, just waddling around. Because I remember thinking how full the diaper looked too. And she got knocked over, and you could tell it was Don's voice. It was an obviously older, not minor juvenile voice that said, and he cursed when he said it, and I'm going to try not to cuss. I am paraphrasing. This is not verbatim. It's also not opinion. It's in the video. And I know Miss Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed still has that video. Zab Girl had the video. I lost it and I'm going to tell the truth, as I always have. I lost it when my computer got hacked that time. And since then, everything I've saved on to external hard drives and flash drives. And I'm going through those trying to find the couch photo. But the video came out around the time it was in between Hunter and Allie and the whole big hit from them. If y'all remember what I'm saying, like he done that interview. It was before the Heels on the Ground interviews, way before they ever got, not downing any of them, because I'm saying, look, if you want to look at sheer determination, work, and not giving up, and multiple cases, and updates up to the minute, and popping videos that are edited out, I got to give it to JLR. He's about his business, y'all, for real. And I don't see him disparaging other folks. I don't see him talking shit. There's lots of creators that don't like me that I still support. Let me say that. Lip Lock, I do believe that in her heart of hearts that she's here for summer. So I 1,000,000% support her. I think it's bullshit that she got struck for reading that book. But she did inspire me. Also, guys, I went to Big Lots to get some things for Little Man. And I found 2 books on clearance that I thought we might read together and review. I thought I'd see what you thought and let you know, put them up, let you guys choose. They're both nonfiction. Trying to remember, I put them up. Y'all pray that tomorrow's a good day early, and I'll get to. Oh God, no, I didn't hear that. Should come. And then I'll get Little Man. I just gotta get the required things in home. Oh, okay. I'm looking for the books. I'm trying to remember where I put them right quick. One is oh, I see them right here. They're inside what I'm using as the desk, of course, for the laptop. To the lines too. Yes, hit the thumbs up and join. If you're not joined, subscribe. Whichever I can't remember now. I think subscribe is the free one. So hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, Welcome by, welcome. And leave a comment. Leave a comment. All that's free.com. Join our Facebook and our Instagram and okay, I almost said Twitter. Is it Twitter or is it X Twitter? I'm not sure how we're supposed to, and I ain't trying to be funny. I'm real not sure what I'm supposed to call it now. Is it Twitter X Twitter, just Twitter, or as Betty White used to say, the Twitter, or X? It feels weird saying X. It sounds like I'm saying I used to be cool with it, but I don't rock with it no more. Anyway, join that one. And TikTok, if I can get into it. That's the one thing about using the laptop for all that. If I let it go dead, I have to remember all the passwords. Yeah, he did, Rebecca. That's what we was talking about. Thank you for getting me right back there. He did. He laughed. He said, y'all look at that. Ain't that funny? They just knocked the baby. Did he say Summer or did he say the baby? It's been so long. But he said he knocked her down. And I remember thinking then, and this is important because people have said, do you really think that they would have put one of the boys in girls' clothes or a girl? Yes, because at that day, right, Angel, I don't do Twitter. But that day, I noticed that one boy honestly looked like he had on Donna Candace Wood's shoes, the one that was down there while they was riding. And the shirt he had on was a big old t-shirt, that looked like it was one of his parents' shirts. So I honestly believe that they tried to get what Lucy people call unisex clothing, so that any of the kids could wear it, because it can be passed around between all of them. And some of them were close in size, and some of them, were different. But the point is, like my mama grew up 1 to 5. The bigger passed them down. So it wasn't about age; it's about size. Sometimes you might have one that's older that's a lot smaller. It's about size. But you wore them shits till they wore out, and I ain't nothing wrong with that. I please, I'm not saying there's a thing wrong with that. I'm saying that's kind of how we grew up living, country living. And the rural area I live in is very similar as far as, the median population, all the demographics. When we look at the education levels, the median population, the size of the average home, and the fact that NAFTA ended up greatly affecting the area. Y'all may not know, but if there's locals in the chat, you guys should be able to comment and let it be known. There are hosiery mills, sewing factories, whatever you want to call them, and furniture factories. I know, I understand that at least 3 were lost. And the understanding I have that was somewhere between 950 and 1,300 individuals becoming unemployed overnight, pretty much. Now, if it was like it was with my mom, there was severance packages and such, and of course unemployment right away. But anybody that's ever drawn unemployment, especially someone who you've been with the company for 10 to 15 years, you're not 28 years old, you're not 25. Most of the time you're in your mid to late 40s or even early 50s at that point. And where you're working production, so your unemployment's on that base rate, unless you've been working long enough to have your own base rate. I think my mom was lucky she had moved up and was a training instructor at that time, so she had an hourly rate. But please believe, you're on. A lot of people don't know what production even means anymore. First job I had to do production. Then I got lucky. I got on the sock pairing, but that was production too, based on the number of pairs. But sewing was not my forte. I get her done, but it ain't gonna look pretty. You feel me? And they put me on cover seam. That's what you want everybody to look at, is the cover seam. You need to be on the inner seam, like on the inside of the armpit, where everything come together and look the worst already. That's where I should have been sewing. I see that pie. Bree ain't gonna cook her, son. That's funny. So I do have 2 books, and I wanted to see what y'all thought. Both of them are on sale at your local Ollie's if you wanted to get your own copy. I got mine out of the 99-cent bin. They I know at least 11 states in the U.S. that they're selling for $1.49 or under. She confirmed that all of Ollie's locations do have them in the markdown section. So, but this one is the real story of the Green River Killer, America's deadliest serial murderer. And it's Green River Running Red by Anne Rule. That was one of the choices that I got. And if y'all ain't interested, it's understandable. You just say so. And the other one is New York Times bestseller by Harlan Coben. It's called Runaway. And it's actually, I thought, given what we covered on the channel, it was a good choice. He wrote The Boy from the Woods as well, which is another New York Times bestseller and stuff. But this is based, I don't understand on this one if it's the actual true story or based on the true story. It really doesn't say. But it sounds pretty good, and it sounds like the genre and the type thing that we like to get into. And I mean, we can read so many chapters at a time or whatever. I do read aloud, whatever we do, and discuss at the end of those chapters, kind of use it to sharpen and hone our skills, per se, I guess. Anyway, it starts out the one about Runaway. It says, you've lost your daughter. She's addicted to drugs and to an abusive boyfriend. And she's made it clear that she doesn't want to be found. And I thought, when I was reading the back of this, honestly, what came to my mind was a story that's currently going on. The young lady that walked herself into the police station because she's 19 now and wanted to be taken off of the missing persons registry. Said that she's fine. She ran away. She's gone by choice, and that she's okay and wanted to be able to obtain legal identification and such. And that was pretty much, that was right on the end of the Carly Russell and Rudy deals. And I didn't say what all I was going to discuss tonight. We are going to talk about Summer's case, and we are going to talk about it in depth. I wanted to just make this comment real quick on Carly and Rudy's cases. They have inspired copycat cases already. We got an 11-year-old girl that's facing a felony. That 11-year-old girl, because she was in the state of Florida, these people that she's copying, it's not been made clear that we have 50 different states within the United States, and this is a state crime. Or, depending on what you do, it might fall in a felony jurisdiction at some point in time. Regardless, based on the state that you commit the crime in, it's kind of like the difference from country to country. And when I say that with this reason, because it's a warning, a misnomer. I don't know what you call it, but it's to let folks know that you can do the same thing. Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. You can go. I can go right now in North Carolina and do something, and it's fully legal in North Carolina. I'm not gonna get nothing. The cops gonna high five me and be like, "You cool, girl? You straight? Woo woo, chop it up." And I go and do that same shit 45 minutes down the road in Tennessee, and I'm going to prison for 5 years. Take my ass to Georgia, and I'm facing 25. Go to Pennsylvania, and I get 2 to 5 years. It can be that drastic. It can be probation for 6 months, one place, and unsupervised probation, pay your fines and have a great day at another place. That's my point, Right, right. I just want people to realize that, before you do this dumb shit. That's stupid. And they not done with Carly Russell, just FYI. I caught that And it was on that local news. Hey, Daisy, you're going to have to turn the music off. That music is picking it up. I'm going to get hit with copyright. Yeah, just don't do dumb shit. You won't have to worry about it. For real, that's the takeaway I got. But on some, on a real note, people need to understand like if a lot of people go on vacation and stuff this time of year too, you need to know where you taking fireworks, where you carrying your pistol, because unless it's changed recently, the state of New York does not really recognize Georgia's concealed and carry permit. So if you coming from Georgia and you going through Syracuse and you're not even stopping there, but you get stopped there, your concealed and carry ain't worth shit, and you could go to jail for a concealed weapons charge, and that's a felony. Stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. You just hey, just something to think about. Something that makes you, seeing those makes you think. Puts that in your brain and makes you think. I want to blow my nose, and so what I'm going to do is pull up a video that I made earlier today, and it's my segue into talking about Summer's case, because there's some other stuff, and I do dumb stuff. I mean, how do you know it's not illegal? It's like there are laws here in my state from the 1700s. It's illegal. Let's see. It's illegal for a woman to own a horse. If you are under the age of 18, it may be 17 now. It may, when they change that one, it may affect that. But 17 or 18 in the state of North Carolina, and you get pregnant, if you still live at home, your father is the one that is added to your birth certificate of your child. Your father is responsible for child support for your child. Ain't that some ish? Let that sink in for a minute to some folks. It's like, what? There's something. And like on Sunday, between a certain hour, you can bring your wife, tie your horse up at the courthouse square, and you can meet your wife on the courthouse steps. Yeah. When I went to work for the state, they went over a bunch of those like outdated, outrageous laws like that, kind of as an icebreaker, and to get into certain laws. When we were talking about PIC and other things that we had to learn as defense, non-offensive procedures, working one-on-one with clients and stuff. But yeah, like in South Carolina, if you and somebody check into a hotel as Mr. and Mrs., you're actually technically legally married. Don't everybody go scrambling now. Okay. I'm queuing up my own video. You think I'll copyright strike myself? Possibly the way life has been going lately, I would not put it past me. And not even meaning to. Okay. Shit. I'm trying to share the audio as well as the video. I'm working on this. Don't laugh at me, folks. Screen. Audio. This was my whole thoughts, okay? Yeah, you would think rather than a state agency that's employing you, updating you on the antiquated state laws, you would think that they would be bringing them to light and helping lobby to stop the stuff. Okay, I'm going to mute so there's no echo. Hey, Miss Angel. Okay. Here is my video from earlier in my thoughts. let's discuss this and a couple other things so we can get back to the couch and everything else where we need to be. Now, why I'm making this video, I'm pissed. I'm so mad, and I'm trying not to cry mad. Candace, in my opinion, allegedly, y'all see Jeremiah's dog. I got left the dog to take care of. He can't go to their new home. They won't let him. Just in case anybody wondered, I didn't go out and buy a dog. I can't afford. They have to rehome it. I'm trying to keep him for a little bit. But anyway, Loki wants to be in the shot. Say hey, Loki. Say hey. Say hey to everybody. Okay. Anyways, gotta hurry so I can get out of here. I've got 19 minutes. So I'm supposed to check in. And I have to drive 2 miles to check in. So anyways, here's why I'm mad. Number one, let's just talk about the things real quick. So somebody, Laura, allegedly, all by the way, everything expressed, all thoughts during this video are my opinion and alleged, and only my opinion for entertainment purposes only, as protected by the U.S. Constitution. I'm allowed to state my opinion. And my opinion is, Candace, you're full of shit. How about that? You can get a camera up and get in a car, on a phone, a plane, a train, whatever the hell you had to get on to defend yourself when somebody says you was messing around with old cotton. But where was that fire? Where was that energy when your child was missing and you was refusing to talk to reporters? You was refusing to make a statement. You was refusing, allegedly, to talk to the police. Where's that fire been in the last 2 years while we've been out here hollering for summer? You marched in a parade. You've been on whatever channel will give you money, in my opinion. People want to talk about tragedy pimps and people making money. Let me tell y'all something. Donate money to whoever you want. It's not my place to tell you. But if someone's considered a suspect or a person of interest, I'd think about it. Y'all can say whatever you want to about me, but I've been real and I've been honest. And if anybody wants to try and pull my card, I'll give you a receipt for it. I have done nothing but tell the truth to people and be a good friend to people and be stabbed in the back by those that call themselves friends on YouTube, especially creators. Lied to and lied on. Because they know that one thing I do hold dear is if I give you my word, I keep it. Candace, you showed us that jacket. I still say there's 2 different jackets because there's that little yellow gold emblem that's on, it'd be the left side when it's being worn in the navy part. And that one jacket that looked a little different color, it didn't have that emblem on it when you showed it. That's why. And if you'll notice, it's folded. And between where she places her hand and where she folds it, you can't see where the stain was. And I agree with what somebody said, and I'm a smoker. Right now I'm quitting, and I'm down to less than a half a pack of hand-rolled cigarettes a day. The store had a thing. I bought a $3 pack of cigarettes and got 3 free nicotine vapes. So I've been using those to save money. But let me say this. Cigarette smoke, like certain drugs, allegedly infiltrates clothing items and would make it nearly impossible to keep that scent that's supposed to be there after 2 years.
You could save hundreds a year on groceries by shopping at Aldi. No sales or coupons needed. You just always...
And I'm not sure which Kathy, the friend, is the right one, because there's two that comes up during research for the right age. One of them has previous Arkansas and Texas addresses, but they both have Tennessee addresses currently. They're just different ages. One might be a daughter and one might be a mama. I don't know, with the way that multiple names have been throughout this case. I'm mad for Summer. I want to know, where was the parents fired during that time? And the call that everybody's making a big deal out of, the mama in the background, we've already went over that and talked about it profusely. Myself, Michelle, Chasing, Penny, Scott, H. I mean, repeatedly in the last 2 years, as well as the couch. And as far as Lisa Kay, I hate to say I told you so to folks, but I told you so. Her information has not been the best. I've known about her since early on in the case. She's been blocked from my channel because of misinformation in the comments section. And I didn't want to put misinformation out there. Like when she said Candace didn't have a female child before the boys in Summer that she gave up for adoption. And then I proved that to be true. And she's like, well, it wasn't your place to tell it. That's because she was co-signing Lips. And until Lips came out with it, she didn't co-sign it. If I'm not mistaken, and I may have the wrong previous case, but she was either involved in Classic and Sincere's case or Gannon's case before. And there was a lot of misinformation. The Facebook groups will tell you about it, and her friend. And I believe the friend was that Ziggy girl. Not Ziggy the creator, but the Ziggy that came out with the grandma story. Not Ziggy that does the channel, Ziggy. Not her. I'm not talking about Ziggy that does the channel. Let me say that again for those in the back. I am not talking about Ziggy that does the channel or any other creator that has been long-term out there on the case. I'm specifically talking about Lisa K. Ruettes and misinformation. She will feed you what she wants you to know. Some will be truth, some will not be truth. She will not have documentation and facts and receipts to back up what she says. It'll be hearsay, which is not admissible in a court of law. It should be admissible in a court of public opinion, in my humble opinion. Therefore, I don't normally address nor follow what she says. And as far as the couch is kind of like the boat. If y'all go back and look at when Chris McDonough first arrives at the Wells residence in that interview he did, that boat, I believe, was laying down on the ground. And then when they come out the back door, it's propped up. Or it was propped up and laying down. But the boat moves during the time that Chris McDonough is doing the interview. And I would like to know why. Did he move it? Did some of his people move it? Or was somebody really hiding downstairs and moved it when they came out? And then there's an early on news interview and pictures. And I've been looking. I've got to go through my external hard drives. I've got 2 now, full of pictures. And that couch, it's a blue couch with like a skirt and little dots, is outside that basement door, where Jose said it stayed, to prevent the door from being opened. That door opens outward. If that couch is outside of it, you can't open the door to get out. Was that couch there the day Summer got gone? Nobody's been able to answer that. And then people have said that the mattress came off of that couch. It was then. I'm not going to say it didn't. But to me, it looked like the same mattress that was laying on the floor when Chris McDonough did his walkthrough. So if it came off that couch, it had been removed and was laying on the concrete floor. Now, it wasn't like that when Dr. Phil came. And here's my thing, Candace and Dawn. Here's my question to y'all. If you thought that your house in that basement where those kids were, if everything was on the up and up, and there wasn't nothing wrong with it, there wasn't no reason for nobody to be saying that it wasn't a fit place for a child, and if there wasn't no reason for CPS to come take your child, why before Dr. Phil's camera crews came in did you slap a coat of paint on it? Why were teddy bears and a chest of drawers in that one little cubicle area? Why was the mattress no longer on the floor? Why did everything change downstairs? Why was it all different? Why did it look more like a playroom instead of like an impromptu flop house? If you didn't think there was anything wrong with it, in my opinion, you would not have needed to change it. If I get done in time tonight before 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all, I'll try to do a live stream. It's hard for me to plan them. I'm scheduled to work until midnight. If I can work until 2 and 3, then I do. I'm averaging about $7.48 an hour. And for those tell me to get a better job, no, it's hard. When you're making just enough to get by, you have to go some days and you don't even eat because you got to keep gas to keep going to work. And you can't get another job because you have to have certain documents. And I have to make an appointment. I have to get a Social Security card because my ex stole it. Now they're not accepting my certified birth certificate from the courthouse that I paid $15 for. So I just threw that out the window. And I have to go to Asheville and get an appointment to go to the Social Security office. That's the nearest one to my residence now. Is an hour and 10-minute drive from my house each way. And I have to have that to be able to get the other documents I need so I can get food stamps and energy assistance. And say what y'all want, but if they'll let me record the next time tomorrow when I go up to the estates division, I'm going to record and let you hear what the woman tells me that I have to pay to be able to sell this house and this land so I can get my inheritance and pay up what my mom owes because of the way she didn't handle her estate. And that is a lesson for all of you guys. I don't care if you just have it notarized and in a place where it can be accessible and found when you pass on. Have something in writing, please, to help your family. Try not to cry. And again, Candace, why was it so easy to come and defend your honor and your marriage so Donnie don't get mad at you? And allegations of you cheating, but you couldn't come on. You couldn't even do an interview for over 2 weeks. The Sermon on the Mount was 2 weeks after Summer went missing, y'all. That's the first time she spoke. Then the next time was while Dawn was locked up. And in between was the call to Mary. Why couldn't you get on and do a plea to help find your daughter? But you can defend your honor and be mad. You should have been mad, sad, angry, and glad and defending Summer's honor for 2 years now. You ain't got honor, in my opinion. Peace, love, and light.
Good morning.
Can y'all hear me now? Let me know if anybody can hear me now. Okay, good. So that was a video I uploaded earlier today. I agree. I've always felt that way, Angel, that there's something behind that. I absolutely have always felt that way. It seemed very forced, for one. But the couch, the reason I remember that couch is I remember growing up, my best friend and her mom had that blue couch and matching chair. And that's what that reminded me of when I saw it. And it wasn't a sleeper sofa. So maybe, it triggered the wrong one in memory. But I remember, if you guys remember the mattress, that filthy ass mattress when Dawn was doing the interview. Same area, there was a couch. Now, I've heard two different stories about what happened to the couch. And I know that Dawn told one of them on the Voices Behind the Wall. I'm not sure which two. I mean, which way it went without looking at my notes. And I'll have to find my notebooks. And like I said, look through my pictures on the hard drives and find it. There's a lot to go through. But that being said, one was it was hauled off to the trash dump, which is a common thing. Let me say that emphatically. Both excuses or whatever for what happened to the couch. Jose might have been the one that said that one was that it was hauled off to the trash dump. The other story was that it was burned in the bonfire. Now, let me say this. Both could be true in the country because we do both. We do both, honestly. Not everybody has trash pickup. That's what I thought the dump was, Miss Justice. There's a spot in the woods where they dump everything. It's not an actual dump. That's as I understand, the area that the searchers were talking about. What's his name? EquiSearch, Dave Rader. What he was talking about, where everything was dumped down that hill. You know what I'm talking about? Trash, garbage, furniture, food, everything. Just people's trash in general. Yep. I think that's the area I understood. Then it was said it was burned in a bonfire. So maybe it was both, though. Maybe they took the big wooden pieces out and dumped the rest of it down that hill and burned it, Okay, Rich. See, that's what I'm saying. There was two stories told. One was that it was burned, and the other one was that it was thrown off down the hill. And that's what I understood they called the dump. Like, if you talk to anybody on Mid Hill, the dump. And I was told that by the locals. That they don't, like here, we drive to the trash dump. And we pull up on each side of it. You open up the bag, go to the trunk, whatever, and pick your bags up and throw them in this machine that looks like a great big dumpster. And every time somebody goes in, they pull this thing, goes back, and they crush it down into there. It's like the ones they have in the back of big supermarkets and stuff. And then they fill them up and take them to the county dump at the end of the day. No, this is not organized. I'm talking about ours is like that. This is not authorized nor organized, but everybody uses it. What I was told is everybody in the creek and on the hill uses it. That's where they throw their shit. That's what I was told. It was said to me in that exact way. That's where everybody takes their shit. No, it's not. There's not employees for the county and the state like they is at ours out here. That's what I'm saying. Here, We got one like that. But now I will tell you, growing up the first 17 years of my life in an area much like Beach Creek, we did not go to the dump. We either burned it in the backyard, maybe because we was having a cookout, or most people took it up on the mountain and threw it off. This ain't a mountain with the overlooks, okay? This is a mountain with the cabin, a church from the 1600s, and dirt winding roads. Oh, and it did have some jump offs where they used to go with the gliders. They had them that are motorized and non-motorized. Had a couple jump offs for that. They took those down because apparently cars jumped off of them. Possibly for insurance purposes, allegedly. That makes any sense. But am I the only person that saw the couch? Am I the only person that saw the red canoe boat in two different positions during the Chris McDonough interview? When I get off, when we end this live, I'm going back over the Chris McDonough interview. Now we get the two different positions of that canoe. I mean, hell, let us say this. If it was up against the building in the first view, and when they came out, it was down on the ground, is it possible someone could have been hiding inside of it? Nobody even thought about it, you know? I don't remember the couch being out there. I think the couch disappeared right prior to Dr. Phil. I didn't know if anybody caught that insinuation from the video upload. Yep, Jose talked about the couch. He said, though, at one time that it was on the inside of the door, and it might have been, but we didn't see it on the inside. And it was only that one time. It was only in that one picture. It may have been on TikTok. I have so many pictures that came from Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and different people's accounts because, guys, let's keep it a band. Everybody in this case got multiple social media accounts on all the social media places. Everybody got a dog in the fight in some way or another. In other words, everybody got a toe in the pudding or a finger in the icing or however you want to say it. Like, okay, Angel. Watch it fast. She can watch Chris McDonough. It's just the second part, I think, where he's at the house is on the boat part. And it was weird because one thing I remember him saying was that he didn't take a camera crew to the house. I think it was just him and his wife and the dog. But if you didn't, and please, somebody please answer my question that I asked. If there was no reason for anybody to say anything was wrong with the house, like not suitable for children wrong for the house, why would you watch the Chris McDonough interview and when Dr. Phil came to town, you done spruced everything up? Not only your clothes, your hair, and your makeup, but the inside of that playroom. You didn't let no other parts of the house be seen either. I noticed that because they showed going up the stairs and said that you wouldn't let them film nowhere else in the house, that it wasn't safe or something to that effect. I don't remember let me say, I don't want to give a false reason. So I'm just going to say I don't recall the reason for the denial, but they said they were denied going and filming any other parts. But that shit was so dark and creepy. And how many times before the Dr. Phil did we discuss it and talk about the fact that there wasn't even any paint so you could write with chalk. There wasn't no kids' pictures. There wasn't no stuffed animals. There wasn't no real toys. We seen some car figurines and them little bottle cap bracelets and stuff she picked off with that aluminum looking. It looked like an aluminum shop shelf that had a TV and a game system on it and a bunch of kids like boy toys, which is fine because little girls play with boys' toys too. But if you didn't feel there was something not right about that shit, then why did it have Pepto-Bismol pink walls? And where did that chest of drawers come from? Because it wasn't the hell there when they walked through the first time that we saw that shit. Why was everything had a nice coat of paint on it and done? And let's not hear no shit about we didn't have the money to do it before and people donated money, because I call bullshit. You work doing drywall, finishing drywall. Let me say that again. Finishing drywall. You gonna tell me that on every job you worked on, because so many that you had that you've lost now because of this, there wasn't none with scraps of paint left over that you could have struck a lick at a snake and had a swipe of paint here and a swipe of fucking paint there that you didn't have none of before? That's what you're trying to tell me. But you got motivated to get her done when Dr. Phil was coming to town. Let's be real. I'm tired of pussyfooting around. I can't be Daisy. I can't be there. Yes, can. I understand, can. That shit made me want to puke. And if y'all don't like me because of what I'm saying tonight, then I don't know what to say to nobody. But I'm tired of holding my tongue. It ain't got me nowhere in the fucking life. Being nice and kind to everybody has got me being old shit and not having shit of my own. That's what the fuck it's got me. Telling the truth and being a good friend has got me drugged through the YouTube streets and talk shit about. Trying to remain neutral and not have an opinion, that's where it's got me. But while Daisy is sitting there, oh, again, it's like she petting a damn pet dog. I'm wondering, where was that anger that you were so fired up and you were so mad about? Your words, not mine, Candace. Where was that anger when Summer went missing and you thought somebody took her? Because ain't that what's been said since the beginning? That somebody just come up there and took her, right? So where was that anger? Where was that? Why wasn't you all fired up then? Why wasn't you so mad that instead of playing with your hat, allegedly, according to Allie and H, on Snapchat with them, or FaceTime or whatever, why the fuck weren't you out there angry and talking shit to the police about where they needed to be looking for your child? Why were you not on Facebook Live begging and pleading or talking about your child? But you could come on YouTube and you could get on a video and you can get your own phone to work and it's crystal clear, and I can't even get mine to be that clear, to talk about that you didn't mess around with the dead man. Make that make sense, please. Somebody please make it make sense to me. Yeah, not forget she's got to put her on the back burner for the boys. And by the way, okay, while we're just spitting truth here, let's be fucking real. Okay? I'm tired of being nice and it could be this and it could be that. as plain as the nose on your face. Don sat there and did the interview, and if I need to find it with WJHL, I'll pull it up and play it again. Right after he got out of jail, he said Candace was able to talk to the boys and go see the boys until he got out of jail. And when he got out of jail and came home to her, they can't neither one see him or talk to him. Why is that? Because the same shit that I told y'all a fucking year ago when I said she had the apartment set up where she was leaving him and was going to get custody of the boys. And then she went back to him. It's the same. Don's home. They can't talk to him. Don was locked up. Candace wasn't with him. She could see them. What does that tell you? What is common sense? Well, allegedly, in my opinion, as it says across the bottom of the screen, my opinion, all statements are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. But allegedly, in my opinion, if he's there, they can't be. If he's not there, they can be. So the choice she made was Daddy Don. I agree with you, Reggie. I agree. And I agree with both of your reasons. We're on the same page, Reggie. I just think the person probably didn't, if it was revenge, they either got the wrong child or the person didn't count on the parents not giving a fuck. Allegedly, in my opinion. I'm tired of being nice. Being nice has got me nowhere. Being nice has got me hungry. Being nice has got me about to be living in Jeremiah's dinosaur tent. That's what being nice has got me. So there you go. Well, obviously it was, Cherokee. Obviously that was the choice that was made. I don't know. You know, I wish I had something nice to say. I wish I had more to say. I wish we had an update from law enforcement that we were promised that's not come through yet. I wish wishes were horses and beggars could ride, as my nanny used to say. I wish that little girl would be found. And be found in better circumstances than she left. Which apparently wouldn't be a lot, allegedly. In my opinion. Seemed to be the opinion of the state, too. There's so many bad things in this world that happen to innocent little children. Then you got people out here who really love their kids and their grandkids and can't hold them at night and can't be allowed to be there. And it really, when it's lost them, you know, it really makes the ones of us sick to our stomach. We see people who have had multiple opportunities and did nothing. Hey, Miss Linda. Miss Justice, the understanding I have is that's the finalization. And I think the next time after that the grand jury meets is in October. Unless I'm wrong. That's straight from memory, which could be real bad right now. Does anybody else have any other thoughts or questions before I go on to the last little part, which is the UFO testimony? And there's a reason on this too. You know, I did some previous commentary about it, and was told that what I said was trying to think of the word, conspiracy and something else. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to tell you what I'm talking about is about to be what's going to be testified to in front of Congress. And to me, it's just really weird because it's like we're running parallel to that video and what that former alleged special forces and FBI agent stated in the video. And I just found that different, I guess. And I kind of wanted you guys' thoughts. I mean, y'all I respect your thoughts and ideas. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get the video queued up while we're talking, because it's one I'm going to have to pause frequently. We're only going to show a portion of it while I'm talking. I am going to get the link to the entire video and put it in the description box so you guys can watch it if you'd like in its entirety. Thought I had it queued up. But it's a reaction channel, so it's a reaction to a clip. So anyway, but I just want to share this and get your ideas and thoughts right quick before I say goodbye for the night and try to get some rest, because I'm going to try to start working in 3 hours up until about 2. I got to do what I can. I will make sure I have what I need for little man, and everybody else's words and promises have been hollow. So I gotta meet the set required criteria so I can spend some time with it. Okay, guys. This is as fair use. Please don't strike me, Matthews family. I waited until it had been out on your channel for quite a few days, so you got all your paid views. Thank you.
None. We had a standard debrief where the backseaters went down to our carrier intel center and briefed.
Then putting hashtag unplugged in the comment section. See how many people in the comment section are unplugged? It's a lot of us. All right. And if you're new, man, hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Let's get to it.
Okay, Mr. Fravor, the TikTok incident that you were engaged occurred in 2004. What kind of reporting took place after that incident?
None. We have a standard debrief where the backseaters went down to our carrier intel center and briefed what had happened, and that was it. No one else talked to us, and I was in the top 20 in the battle group. No one came. The captain was aware, the admiral was aware. Nothing was done.
Your commanding officers
I wanted y'all to make sure and note that what this gentleman is testified to, all these people are like brigadier generals and everything. There's a reason I point that out. Pay attention to their rank, former opinion, and stance on this, and pay attention to the fact that you'll find claims that nobody came when they called for help. Little boy that cried wolf. Just think about that with me for a minute. Thank you, Cherokee. And I'm dropping that in the description box as well while we're listening.
Just provide any sort of justification?
No, because I was a commanding officer of the
Okay.
squadron, so no.
Was this incident the only UAP event that you encountered while you were a pilot?
Yes, it was.
Okay. This is for any one of you. Based off of each of your experiences and observations, do you believe UAPs pose a potential threat to our national security?
Good question.
Yes.
Yes.
And here's why. The technology that we face.
You see what he said? I'll do it. And like, bro, like they really are putting their lives on the line doing this, their credibility and everything. He had to look at him like, don't be scared. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Threat to our national security?
Yes. And here's why. The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had. And you could put that anywhere. If you had one, you captured one, you reverse engineered it, you got it to work. You're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave. And there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing.
Okay. You two?
Well, I would also like to add, from a commercial aviation and military aviation perspective, we deal with uncertainty in our operating space as a matter of our professional actions. Identifying friend from foe is very important to us. And so when we have unidentified targets and we continue to ignore those due to a stigma or a fear of what it could be, that's an opening that our adversaries can take advantage of.
Exactly.
What steps should be taken to better understand and respond to UAP encounters in the interest of national security?
There needs to be a location where this information is centralized for processing, and there needs to be a two-way communication loop so the operators on the front end have a feedback and can get best practices on how to process information, what to do, and to ensure that their reporting is being listened to. Right.
Several months ago, my office received a protected disclosure from
Okay, this is Matt Getz that you're about to see right now. This one scared the bejeebers out of me. I have put the link to this video in the description box. Check him out. This is a really good channel. They watch fun things and like react to laughable things, but they also have a lot of informative stuff, and most of it is from mainstream news media. Like it's not the way out there type stuff. So, and hey, Scuba, it bears listening to. You're gonna hear Matt Getz, and then this is Mr. Grish. I hope I say it right. But this one is the one where, well, just wait. Non-human biometrics. Remember that term. Yeah, remember that term.
Eglin Air Force Base, indicating that there was a UAP incident that required my attention. I sought a briefing regarding that episode and brought with me Congressman Burchett and Congresswoman Luna. We asked to see any of the evidence that had been taken by flight crew in this endeavor and to observe any radar signature as well as to meet with the flight crew. We were not afforded access to all of the flight crew. And initially, we were not afforded access.
So, why are they being blocked access to the flight crew? I mean, okay. Reason I'm asking this and saying this too is we're talking about the congressmen and stuff here, senators and congressmen. Like, they ain't supposed to tell them no, are they? Not for stuff like that. And then, y'all remember, all I'm gonna say is I got called a conspiracy theorist and said I was way out there. What I was saying was, in 2017, I think, or 16, a video was made and put out there. I know it was way before, said that there was going to be something like a pandemic, but they didn't use the word pandemic, that would reduce the world's population, and that they were looking for a one world order government, blah, 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 and that we would notice over time after that pandemic that lots of things would start to come out about UFOs and extraterrestrials, more so than our government ever has before. And the same people that were employed before by our government to tell us that it was all fake fiction and explain it away, now we're the same individuals taxed with telling us that it was real. My whole question about it wasn't meant to be taken the way it was taken. I was trying to think outside the box, and how do we know that we're not being manipulated right now by everything that's playing out on Congress? How do we know that this isn't a ploy to get us to think that something was our choice that's giving up more freedom? You know, how do we know that? We may not know the answer. Listen, I don't claim to have answers. I've got a lot of questions, probably like y'all out there. And a lot of what's going on right now in this world seems a lot freaking scary to my ass. Shit I've never seen. I thought I'd never see in my lifetime. I mean, I grew up ABC, NBC, and CBS. We sat down. You know, you ate dinner. The news come on at 6, and you ate dinner before then. And we watched the local news at 6, and Dan Rather or whoever at 6:30 to 7. And if some big shit was happening locally or nationally, we was there at 11, maybe for a news break in between. And it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. Because you can't sell us a dream anymore. That's the problem. See, that's the problem. You can no longer sell us a dream. Because Ma and Paul, the Smiths and the Joneses, and even the Whitakers got cell phones now and got social media accounts and can take a picture in California and send it to China 15 seconds later. You can't stop everything. You can't control everything. And that's any government. I'm not just saying the U.S. Please believe that. I'm talking about anybody in power, period. The control is not there. Hey, Manic Mama T, that ability to stop and to control is not there anymore. That's part of it. Propaganda takes a new, younger turn, I guess is the word. Somebody that's, younger and more able to do so. I'm not telling anybody the answers. I'm not telling anybody what to think. I'm telling you, trust your heart, your gut, and your faith, and trust in your mind. And think for yourself. Don't allow others to tell you what to feel and what to think. Back to this, and I'll take another break for more commentary.
Access to images and to radar. Thereafter, we had a bit of a discussion about how authorities flow in the United States of America, and we did see the image. And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And I'm somewhat informed on the matter, having served on the Armed Services Committee for.
By the way, the individual forming the question and talking right now is actually not who is deemed the whistleblower. Mr. Gersh is the whistleblower. The person speaking informing this question right now is Matt Getz, one of the representatives on the committee in Congress that they're testifying before, that's questioning. Also, by the way, I'm not. I want to call Mr. Gersh something that's not pointed out by the host here, and it may not have been known at the time. Something that I know has recently came to light. I believe that, Kim. I don't know why I don't see that, but you know. No, I agree with you, Kim. I think that's a very, very, yeah. It goes right along with what I was brought up believing. Anyway, let me say this. While I'm encouraging people to think freely and openly, do you guys know that Mr. Gersh, the whistleblower, in my opinion, allegedly is a sanctioned whistleblower? And what I mean by that is he got the okay from the DOD, the Department of Defense, gave him permission to testify at this hearing. Mic drop. Back to Mr. Getz' question.
For 7 years, having served on the committee that oversees DARPA and advanced technologies for
Very credible. Are you listening? Very, very credible person speaking right now.
several years. When we spoke with the flight crew, and when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico. And when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace. Not supposed to be anything that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb. Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down. He said that his FLIR system malfunctioned and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection as you would typically see in a test mission. So
I lived near a National Guard armory a few years back. Myself and my roommate, we shared the same delusion, manifestation, whatever at the same time. Standing in our front yard, I had just gotten off work. I was working as a bartender at a Sagebrush. And what's odd is 2 days before, there was this boom. We were told it came from the rock quarry. There was an explosion at the quarry, which is actually kind of funny because the rock quarry, once you go into it, it backdoors to the National Guard Armory. But anyway, we were in our yard in the middle of town. I just got off work. It's about 15 minutes after midnight. And we're looking up the sky because there's these weird looking multiple planes flying oddly in a odd formation. They had green lights, and each was in a pattern of 3. The lights were on each of them. There were 7 planes, and we thought at first it was kind of a V formation, but it was like a loose V, I guess is what you would say. And they were zigzagging, like, you know, when you see car racers kind of zigzag on the car race, they were kind of doing that and holding formation. And then all of a sudden, one at a time, they shot, pew, 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 and we're gone. We were told it was a drone exercise. You'd have just had to see it to understand it, but it was, I believe a lot of what we see, it's not as much UAP, UFO, extraterrestrial, but I think maybe 1 to 3 are those things. And that things from within the earth, hundreds of thousands of years ago, maybe have been discovered and re-engineered. And possibly things crashed in the sky. I heard people saying, well, they can fly everywhere through the universe, but they get to Earth and they crash. Could it be the same thing that protects the Earth and makes it difficult for us to leave the atmosphere, the bands with radiation in them that superheats that area? Could it be those same bands that protect us as well? And that's why we kind of like can't quite get right. Because when they reverse engineer it, it's not quite right. It's almost there, but not quite there. I mean, for years, things have been seen, and millions, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars have went into discrediting and even infiltrating and providing false information to people that claimed UFOs existed. So why the sudden 180? What's in it for our government? See, that's the thing right there. What's going on? What is the distraction? That's what I feel like. What is this congressional hearing drawing our attention away from? What else is going on in the world at the same time as these hearings that they don't want us to pay attention to? That's my question. And did y'all see Mitch McConnell? Oh, if I can pull that up, I'll pull it up, because that was just straight up word. Okay, let me let this play for a second, and I'll see if I can't pull that up for y'all.
Mr. Chairman, ranking members and congressmen, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
They breaking the videos up, so I'm just jumping around trying to find different videos. Intriguing to hear people come forth. Finally.
Charles Grush. I was an intelligence.
By the way, this gentleman right here is the biggest one I want y'all to listen to, because in my opinion, he's the biggest red flag out there. You feel me? I can't help but think of my cousin in the berets every time I look at these hearings. And I think back to recently unsealed, unclassified, declassified, however you want to say it, documents detailing a false flag operation in the sea that cost hundreds of thousands of American lives so that we could enter Vietnam. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Twice that ship, that American ship, was hit twice. And the same people that knew about that are probably the same ones that said something about 9/11. It's not time for those to be disclassified. And let me say this. All the years that we've heard talk about the Kennedy murder, you know, those documents were declassified and it was just a blip on the radar. How many of y'all heard about it? Heard what it said? Heard what it told? Real talk. Y'all might ask, how does this all tie to Summer's disappearance? Distraction, diversion, flat out lies. Let's go back to what our government wants to tell us again.
Officer for 14 years, both in the U.S. Air Force, both active duty, Air National Guard, and Reserve at the rank of major, and most recently from 2021 to 2025, or excuse me, 2023, at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, at the GS-15 civilian level, which is the military equivalent of a full bird colonel. I was my agency's co-lead in unidentified anomalous phenomena and transmedium object analysis, as well as reporting to the UAP task force, UAPTF, and eventually, once it was established, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW. I became a whistleblower through a PPD-19 urgent concern.
Couple little tidbits while I pause for fair use. Again, this gentleman has the authorization of the DoD, Department of Defense, to offer this testimony he's currently offering. I don't know about y'all, but I got a side eye due to that fact. Because the government just authorized him to talk shit and tell on them. Do y'all believe that? Okay. Then they really playing it good. About 5 hours and 10 minutes ago, NASA cut off their live feed. Bingo, Scuba, I agree. Just thought I'd tell y'all that.
Concern filing in May 2022 with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. Following concerning reports from multiple esteemed and credentialed current and former military and intelligence community individuals that the U.S. government is operating with secrecy above congressional oversight with regards to UAPs. My testimony is based on information I've been given by individuals with a long-standing track record of legitimacy and service to this country. Many of whom also have shared compelling evidence in the form of photography, official documentation, and classified oral testimony to myself and my various colleagues. I have taken every step I can to corroborate this evidence over a period of 4 years while I was with the UAP task force and do my due diligence on the individual sharing it. This is because of these steps, I believe strongly in the importance of bringing this information before you.
By the way, you might want to look at what that task force that he was a member of did. Dissemination, misinformation. Oh, now he's on the opposite side of the fence. I'm sorry. Again, right now, I'm really not offering an opinion, but I am putting all the facts out, period.
For you. I am driven by a commitment of both to truth and transparency, rooted in our inherent duty to uphold the United States Constitution and protect the American people.
Protect this man. He wants truth and transparency, the same thing we've been hunting. Protect this man. Protect them.
I'm asking Congress to hold our government to this standard and thoroughly investigate these claims. But as I stand here under oath now, I am speaking to the facts as I've been told them. In the U.S. Air Force, in my National Reconnaissance Office, NRO, reservist capacity, I was a member of the UAP Task Force from 2019 to 2021. I served at the NRO Operations Center on the Director's Briefing Staff, which included the coordination of the Presidential Daily Brief and supporting a variety of contingency operations, which I was the Reserve Intelligence Division Chief backup. In 2019, the UAP Task Force Director asked me to identify all special access programs and controlled access programs, also known as SAPs and CAPs,
I think it's important to bring it to us now because they want us to be looking at something else. I mean, they don't want us looking at something else. What else is going on? I know
Why don't you own commercial real estate? Yes, you. Why don't you own commercial property?
We needed to satisfy.
Sorry, y'all. I think now, because there's something else going on they don't want us to pay attention to, in my opinion. That's what I think now. I think now, because they want sheeple, I think that we're building up to something. And I hope that we can think outside the box. And we, the people, cannot let it happen. That's what I hope. That's what I think. That's what my fear is. My fear is that it won't be a better world for little man than it was for me. Back to the video.
By our congressionally mandated mission, and we were direct report at the time to the DepSecDef. At the time, due to my extensive executive level intelligence support duties, I was cleared to literally all relevant compartments and in a position of extreme trust, both in my military and civilian capacities. I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I have suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
When we launched off Nimitz, my wingman was joining up. We were told that the training was going to be suspended and we're going to proceed with real world tasking. As we proceeded to the west, the air controller was counting down the range to an object that we were going to, and we were unaware of what we were going to see when we arrived. The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet in a controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18F, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look at the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly...
Listen, if you got...
This is where you keep hearing the term tic-tac and everybody talking about tic-tac. I am queuing up Mitch McConnell next, and I'll be saying goodbye shortly after. So I do have to work, and I am wore out. Y'all, I'm asking for prayers. Yeah, I'm making up to get what she wants me to have so little man can be here with me. Just spend the night. I miss him a lot.
You got stock. If there's stock options for Tic Tacs right now, I believe they're probably going to be soaring because the word Tic Tac is being used so much. How many of y'all are sitting there thinking like, dang, I ain't had a Tic Tac in a long time. Get you some stock up.
As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look at the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down.
And that wasn't financial advice, by the way. Gotta say that. Some of y'all are crazy.
Aligned it with my aircraft and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees, nose low, where the Tic Tac, or we considered 270 degrees to where, and we went nose low to where the Tic Tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the Tic Tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as you started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute. You can calculate the speed." We returned to Nimitz. We were taking off our gear. We were talking to one of my crews that was getting ready to launch. We mentioned it to them, and they went out and luckily got the video that you see, that 90-second video. What you don't see is the radar tape that was never released, and we don't know where it's at, of the active jamming that the object put on an APG-73 radar. And I can get into modes later if you're interested.
And that's the thing. What scares me right now is like how much evidence that we would need in a case like this to support their claims. How much of it is being destroyed right now, you think? See, while all this is going on, just like he just spoke of, the video that they have no whereabouts of where it could be, is it now gone, lost, destroyed? Like, this is frustrating, man. Frustrating for these fellows here who are putting their credibility on the line.
Jamming that the object put on an APG-73 radar, and I can get into modes later if you're interested. What is shocking to us is that the incident was never investigated. None of my crew were ever questioned. Tapes were never taken. And after a couple of days, it turned into a great story with friends. It wasn't until 2009 until Jay Stratton had contacted me to investigate. Unbeknownst to all, he was part of the ATIP program in the Pentagon led by Lou Elizondo. And there was an unofficial official report that came out that's now on the internet. Years later, I was contacted by the other pilot, Alex Dietrich, and asked if I'd been contacted. And I said, no, but I'm willing to talk. I was contacted by Mr. Elizondo, and we talked for a short period of time, and he said we'd be in contact. A few weeks after that, I was made aware that Lou had left the Pentagon in protest and joined forces with Tom DeLonge, Chris Mellon, Steve Justice, and others to form Two Stars Academy, an organization that pressed the issue with leading industry experts and U.S. government officials. They worked with Leslie Keane, who is present today, Rob Blumenthal, and Helene Cooper to publish the articles in the New York Times 2017 New York Times. And it removed the stigma on the topic of UFOs, which is why we're here today. Those articles open the door for the government and public that cannot be closed. It has led to an interest from our elected officials who are not focused on little green men, but figuring out where these craft are, where are they from, the technology they possess, how do they operate. It also led to the Whistleblower Protection Act and the NDAA. There are multiple witnesses coming forward to say that have firsthand knowledge, and Mr. Brush just covered that. What concerns me is that there's no oversight from our elected officials on anything associated with our government processing or working on craft. Believe it or not, from this world. This issue is not a full public disclosure that could undermine national security, but it is about ensuring that our system of checks and balances works across all work done in the government using taxpayer funds. Relative to government programs, even unacknowledged wave programs have some level of oversight by the appropriate committee members in the House and Senate. And this work that is said to be occurring from whistleblower testimonies should not be exempt. In closing, I would like to say that the Tic Tac object we engaged in 2004 was far superior to anything that we had on time, have today, or looking to develop in the next 10 years. If we in fact have programs that possess this technology, it needs to have oversight from those people that the citizens of this great country elected in office to represent what is best for the United States and best for the citizens. I thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
All right, guys. And Sassy, you can text me, honey. I've got the same number now. I think. It should come through. Text me, and if I don't text you, I'll text you in the morning. Or you can email me. Here is the Mitch McConnell freeze. I'm going to try to start working by 6:30, just daylight. So I want to go ahead and share this. And then I'm going to end the broadcast. If anybody has any thoughts, comments, questions, please feel free to type them in the comment section. I'll be watching while this is playing. They're making a big deal out of it. I want to know what y'all think. Those of you that are replay crew, please throw your comments in. Comments, hit that thumbs up, you know, hit that subscribe. All that's free. Share links out on your Facebook, your Instagram and stuff. All that's free as well, you guys. I'm working on the T-Move thing. I'm having trouble with my phone. It doesn't do the QR codes. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. So let's see what frustration personified is. I don't know what they're trying to say is going on here. I want y'all's thoughts. Let me know.
this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should I just go back to you? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Allegedly, the lady in the white and green touched his arm. I don't know if that's, I don't know the significance. I was hoping that somebody, kill. I'm wondering that myself, Hunty. I'm just trying to figure that out. So I'm going to take pictures, by the way, of the books that I was talking about to read and go over together. I thought it'd be pretty cool. We could pick like maybe one night a week that we all met to read or whatever. The book. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to rewind and play it from before the lady on the far left in the green, I guess, in pale green or green and white outfit. Let me know what y'all think.
and a string of
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should I just go back to you? Do you want to say anything else to the press? Okay, go back.
Go ahead, John.
I'll take it. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
So this is we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the IRA. And of course,
I mean, call me crazy, but mid-sentence he stopped talking. They walked him to the side and took over. And he's in charge of stuff. I'm just saying. My last words before I end this broadcast are, I want to see somebody that knows what happened to Summer come out with the anger and the fire that Candace defended her marriage sanctity to. That's what I want to see. That's the implication, true crime. That's what I want to see. I want to see that fire and imploring somebody to come forward and tell us what happened to her. How about that? Can we get that fire? Can we get so mad about Summer being gone as we were about being accused of doing the bumping the uglies with the cotton, allegedly, whatever? Can we get that? So I'm going to end and I'm going to say justice for Summer Man Utah Wells. and hug those you love tonight. You don't know how long they'll be here. Peace, love, and light.